Hello, my name is Epic Bubble, and I sometimes go by the name of Simon, and leave it to fate that probably one of the coolest games to be announced for Gen Con would come a day after I do my Gen Con top 10. For those that don't know, Twilight Imperium 4th edition was announced, and this is a little catch up on what it is and why you probably should be excited for it. So, Twilight Imperium is a grand game. It is a game of spacefaring aliens trying to conquer a galaxy, and it is a cult classic. It came out in 1997. It was designed by Christian T. Peterson, and it was published by Fantasy Flight Games. Nowadays, Fantasy Flight Games is known for their Star Wars IPs. They've done Game of Thrones games, and they even had the Warhammer license for a long time. But back then, they were just a small company basically producing a few Euro games or small wooden games. Christian T. Peterson came out with Twilight Imperium, and it just exploded from there. This is a game that is known to take 8 hours to play and goes up to 8 players, which is a crazy amount. But if you're into those kind of things, it is definitely an attractive purchase. This is what made Fantasy Flight Games a household name in the board gaming community. Later on, a few more editions would come out. Twilight Imperium 2nd edition and 3rd edition would come out in 2005, and the artwork has been getting better. Of course, we've gone away from the 1990s and we're now in 2017, which is 12 years after 3rd edition came out, and they have come out with this. This is their 4th edition, and it's largely the same game, but it is made for their 20th anniversary of the game. So, what is Twilight Imperium? Well, it's essentially a game of exploration, expansion, extermination, and exploitation. It's a 4X game. You're going to have an alien race who are going to conquer planets, all while trying to expand your grasp on an empire in space. There are technology trees which you can go down to grab different technologies to customize your race. Of course, all the alien races have special abilities by themselves. You have copious amounts of different types of starships, all of which do something different. There is even something known as a war sun, which is the copyright equivalent of a Death Star. And this is basically planet destroying. Or, well, you can't destroy planets, but it is at least fleet destroying. Now, in 4th edition, it is coming with a lot of the expansions. So things such as all the other alien races, that's now all included into the 4th edition. Things like the flagship, which is basically a vehicle for your alien race's special power, that is now also in the space game of the 4th edition. And on your turn, you do a very simple thing. You're essentially going to use your command disks to move your things around. You're going to be using your turn to construct new buildings, and you're going to be using your turn to produce new technologies. Essentially, what happens is, at the start of your turn, you're going to be selecting one of these technology tiles, and this will allow you to do a special action during your turn, but it also gives everyone else a special action. So for construction, you get something great, and then everyone else can also do something not so great, but still something at least. Now, what you actually get is quite a lot. It is $150 that you're going to be paying for this game, and Twilight Imperium 3rd edition only costs $90. So why the change? Well, you basically get a lot. The expansion features now featured in the game, and of course, obviously, components have just been increasing. The quality of them is amazing. I played Twilight Imperium 3rd edition, and the quality of the plastic miniatures wasn't that great. I'm hoping that the miniatures have gotten better, at least the miniatures for their other games like Rune Wars or Star Wars Armada or Star Wars X-Wing or Star Wars Imperial Assault. All of those miniatures are fantastic, so I'm hoping this does the same. You get 350 plastic miniatures, you get, I think, 700 cardboard pieces, you get 450 or so cards featuring various technologies, you have 50 galaxy tiles, and of course you get the rulebook and a few various other bits. There have been no mention of how many alien races you get, but it's most likely somewhere in the production or in the product information. I will have a link, of course, in the description below of all this information, so you can go check it out for yourself. Now, the thing that you might be asking, if you are a person who's played Twilight Imperium before, or you have a copy, is why should I get this? And, well, it's kind of a hard sell. You see, it's going to cost you more, and chances are you already have the expansion. So this is most likely a game designed for people who haven't got the game yet, people who have maybe played it and have always been on the edge of buying it, and they now gain the full product. But there have been a few minor changes. It's roughly still 95% the same game, but it does feature a few changes that make ease of life a bit better. So for example, things like the technology tree, that's now gone. Instead, there is now a tiered system. So if I want to purchase, say, a level 3 blue technology, I would have to get the previous tiers of that before I can do so. Same with green technology or yellow technology, and I think there's also red technology. Again, it's this ease of life, so you don't have a complicated technology tree to work down. Makes games a bit more faster, which is great. There's also been a change to the politicking system. Essentially what happens is you have planets that have resources on them or produce resources, and on your turn you would choose to either have those planets produce resources for you or political power. That has now changed. Instead, you basically just have a hand of cards that either allow you to agree or disagree with certain politic actions that takes place. Again, I'm still interested to see. I do like what they're going for here. I think it's great that they are trying to keep this classic alive, but the price tag is quite a lot, and I don't see a lot of people who have got Twilight Imperium picking it up. I'm still on the edge. I most likely will at least want to play it before I buy it, but I'm certainly interested, and I'm sure we're going to get more information in the coming months. They haven't announced any expansions yet, but the game does only go up to 6 players, whereas the previous editions that had expansions that allowed it to go up to 8 players. So there's most likely going to be a couple of new things for it. Anyway, I'm always interested to hear your ideas. I will be doing, of course, more information on this as it comes out. And again, if you would like to keep with that, then hit the subscribe button and like this video if, of course, you liked it. Leave a comment also if you're going to Gen Con, or if you're going to Shut Up and Sit Down's convention later in the year, where they're actually showing off a documentary of how this game was made, and they're also going to be having copies of it there. So all very cool stuff.